Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Abby, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about baking. And I get questions about this from friends and family all the time. It's kind of one of those things that's a little intimidating and a little bit weird, but it really has helped my makeup routine recently. I learned how to do it, and I learned how to do it properly, which is something that's hard to do. If you don't do it properly, it can really dry out your skin and it can really look bad. So I will go over some things today, some products I like. Right now I have my eyes done. I only have foundation on. Today I'm wearing the Makeup Forever HD stick. So I only have foundation on. And it's kind of weird. Normally I do my makeup totally different. I don't do it in this order. So it's like a little out of my norm today. But I'm going to do it this way to show you guys and hopefully have a completed look. So I have my foundation on, and then you're going to go in with your concealer. And baking, just a general idea of what baking is or a little background on it. Baking is setting your concealer, or you could even do your foundation, with a loose powder. And I like to put that powder on with a damp beauty blender, and I will tell you why later on when I get into that. I usually put concealer on under my eyes, and that creases really badly under, just for me, any concealer. It doesn't matter how high end, it does not matter what concealer it is, it just creases, and a lot of people have this problem. So we actually took this technique, baking, from the drag world. And whatever your thoughts are on drag, I personally love drag. I think it's amazing. It's just totally mesmerizing to me. But we take a lot of tips and tricks from drag because they know how to set their makeup. They know how to get their makeup to stay. They're on stage under lights, they're sweating, they're dancing, they're singing, whatever. Their makeup has to stay on. So it's a technique we took from the drag world and tweaked it a little bit for the, more of the beauty look. Basically, you're setting your concealer with a neutral setting powder. So these are two of my favorites. This is the Ben Nye Neutral Set Powder. They're colorless powders. They look white, but once you wipe them off or whatever, they come off translucent and just set your powder or set your makeup or whatever. This one's really cheap. It's $7, but it's really good. It is a little bit heavier. So if you're dry, I would not recommend this powder. And if you're really dry or you have mature skin, I don't know if I'd recommend baking at all, just because it will, it does settle in fine lines if you're not using a really expensive or finely milled powder. Baking for dry skin is just, it's all trial and error. I didn't like baking when I first did it. It was too thick. So these are the ones I use, and this Laura Mercier is the Secret Brightening Powder, and this one is really finely milled. It's really fine. It feels like silk on your skin, and it doesn't settle into those fine lines. This one has lasted me all day, so these are two of my favorites that I've been using recently. I switch around a lot just because I like to try new things. Basically setting your concealer with a powder, a thick layer of powder, and leaving it on there for a few minutes to settle that powder in and kind of set that concealer really deep in your skin so that it will not move. You can go on a hike, you can go out shopping all day, you can do whatever it is that you're doing, your concealer won't move if you bake. At least it doesn't for me. And if it does for you, maybe try a different powder, try a different product. So I've been using recently the Naked Skin Concealer by Urban Decay, which is great. And then I've heard really good things about the IT Cosmetics concealer. So I bought a little sample at Ulta, and I've been using this sample for a couple days, and I've really been liking it. And I bought the sample in medium. Normally I do a light color, but I bought the medium color just because I wanted something similar to my skin tone. Because it's summer and I don't want to look as bright some days, I just want to look a little less intense. So I did buy the medium, which is closer to my foundation color, and then I kind of just dot this Naked Skin Concealer in, and this is in this shade Fair Neutral. So let's get to it. So with this little sample bottle, because I didn't know how I'd like it, I've heard different things, but I heard it's really good. I like IT Cosmetics products a lot. So I just put a little bit on the back of my hand, and this concealer is really thick. A little goes a long way. So just like a tiny bit. And I'm gonna take my little brush here, and with this, because it doesn't have like an applicator, I just put it on with a brush. Easier, you can do it with your finger too if that's what works for you. Put it on under my eye, kind of in that V shape, upside down V or an A. And I don't put too much of this concealer on under my eye. If I were doing a thinner formula, I would put a little more, but this is really thick and you don't want no cakey under eye. Nobody wants that, okay? So put a little bit on my nose, just because my nose is like unbelievably red at all times for whatever reason. A little on my chin, doo-dee-doo, a little here. Okay, then because I want my under eye just a little bit lighter, I dot this Naked Skin in the Fair Neutral just to make it a teensy weensy bit lighter. Just to get the under eye nice and bright. Because it's summer, I'm not as worried about like a bright under eye. Some days I am and some days I'm not, so that's why I got the medium. But I think I will be buying this IT Cosmetics concealer in the light and the medium. It's been really good. At first I was like, oh, this is super thick, but it's really worked for me. So now I'm using a damp beauty blender to blend in my concealer. And this is one of my favorite ways to do this. I have used a brush. If I'm in a time crunch, I'll use a brush. But with the beauty blender, and it's like super janky and old, I need a new one. I squeeze it under my faucet like 20 times. I get it really, really big. And then I just squeeze it out a little bit with a towel, just so it's not sopping wet, but you do want it rather damp because it really helps blend that product into your face and just kind of combine your foundation and your concealer super nicely. So I do that. My skin has been so broken out lately. I don't know what's going on with my skin lately, but it's just been a nightmare. So I don't know. I'm just moving on. Just not even gonna talk about it. So, but all I can say is thank goodness for makeup. Holy cow. So do this. And this is a baking video, but I have a little trick that I'm going to show you guys because I figured this out recently. So just a nice bright under eye. Bam. So I put I'm going to do my Laura Mercier powder today just because on camera it's a little easier. With the Ben Nye, I put it in my hand and then I dip my beauty blender in. It's just like all messy. So anyway, so there's plenty of powder in here on the top. And I take my damp beauty blender, and it's kind of weird sticking like wet into dry. You don't want to make a paste, but no, it's not going to do that. This is super, super like, it's not too damp. It's not like wet, so it's not going to make a paste. So I get like an ample amount of product on my beauty blender and stick it under my eye. So you're just going to tap it onto the skin. So you've got like a pretty decent, and it gets in your mouth, not gonna lie. And usually I just do my under eye, but today, because I'm feeling fancy, I'm just going to do my chin. Cool. Maybe the tip of my nose and my forehead. I like to do my forehead as well because I get little creasing there, you know, from those little lines. So do that. Just under the eye, just enough. Woo! That's a lot. So now that you look like a freaking psycho clown, you're just gonna let that settle into your skin. Now, this is a little trick I was telling you guys about. I wear glasses. Sorry, my eyes, I'm like, I wear glasses everywhere I go. Anytime I'm in the car, even if, well, not at nighttime, but if it's like snowing or raining, overcast outside, I still wear my glasses, just like a weird habit. So I have been recently baking this area on my nose where my glasses fall, okay? So where my glasses fall on my nose, that way I get so irritated with my glasses making an imprint in my makeup and constantly having to take my finger and rubbing it out and rubbing it out. And then, you know, it just gets like so gross throughout the day. So I've been doing this for about a week now with my makeup when I remember, but it's been about a week. And it really has helped. It's been amazing. So just set that, and it kind of also mimics the line if you contour your nose. Kind of helps mimic that line as well. So if you have time to do this step, even if you just want to bake this area, it's a really good little trick I thought of myself. I don't know if someone else has thought of it before, but it's a problem I have. It's just my glasses just make that stupid line, and I get so sick of blending it out all the time. So I bake that area, and I actually does a 2-in-1 job because I do contour my nose, not every day, but once in a while, and it helps with that as well. So I leave this bake on, and it really helps settle in that concealer. And this is a step, I know it might be a lot for some of you, you're like, really, like this takes so much time, but so while this is settling, I'll just tell you my normal routine. So I put on my foundation, put on my concealer, bake with my powder, and while I'm baking, I do my brows and maybe part of my eyes. So I'll put on my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot and my shadow if I'm wearing any that day, and sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm, you know, I do foundation, concealer, all that. I do my face makeup and I just throw on some mascara. It's just how some days go. For the most part, I'm usually wearing a liquid eyeliner or some sort of shadow. So I do my brows, set those, all that good stuff. And then when I'm done, I take off my bake. And today, because for the sake of the video and sake of time, I'm just gonna take it off. You don't want to bake too long. That is the key to this process, is learning your skin type, learning what powder works for you, and learning how much time you need to bake. So I don't like to bake too long, literally maybe 5 minutes. I can do my brows in about 5 minutes, maybe like 4. So I don't like to leave it on longer than that. I just feel like if you do, it really gets cakey and you can tell that there's like a shitload of powder under there. So I just take, this is an IT Cosmetics brush. It doesn't have a name, but it's a big fluffy brush and it's really, really dirty. Need to clean it. So I just take a big fluffy brush, any one you have will do, and just brush it off. It might take a couple swipes. And then I kind of take that excess powder and just set the rest of my face that I've got going on. Dude, I don't know how YouTubers do their makeup with their hair down. Like, it's driving me nuts. I need a clip. Need a clip in my life. Actually, I need a headband, but I look like I'm 5 when I do that. It's just embarrassing. So take off that bake, and voila. It doesn't even look like you did that. I bake pretty much every day that I do my makeup. It's just a technique that's really worked for me. I'm constantly running around, you know, working, sweating, doing whatever, and it really helps to settle in that makeup. So I'm going to finish off my face makeup here. I'm using a MAC 135. And I'm using the NYX contour kit today. I usually use the Anastasia one, but I picked this up at Target and it's got like some really good shades and I've really been liking it. It's really good. So I use these 2 middle shades. They're a little bit cooler. Just whatever works for you or whatever you like, because, you know, makeup's all about what you want to do. So kind of contour that area. I do a little bit, so some people go to the middle of the ear. I try to shoot for the top of my ear into my cheek area. I try to just go down. Don't like going back and forth because I feel like it makes I don't know, it just blows it out too much. So I try to just go one way with my brush. And I just hit that top of the cheekbone there. Kind of get the top of my forehead. I don't do too much contouring, just a little bit. If I'm going out or I feel like I want more, I'll do more. So I'm just going to take this 135 brush and I pinch it and I contour my nose just a little bit. Just to, you know, snatch it up. Get that snatched. So I don't do this every day, but when I'm feeling fancy, go right ahead. And you just want to make sure you pinch it enough. Getting in there. Great. And I blend out my contour on my nose. I don't really love a harsh contour on my nose, just personally. So now I'm just going to warm up my face. This is a Sonia Kashuk brush. It is a number 29. And I love her brushes. I picked a couple up at Target and they're really good. It's just super great. And this is a bronzer I've been using for a long time. It's just one I've always had. I've been using this color since high school. It's called MAC Gimme Sun. And I know that's pretty popular with a lot of people because it works for a lot of different skin tones. It just works super well. And then I have been using this blush lately. I had a MAC one, but this one just caught my eye. It's the Maybelline Fit Me, and I think I got this at Ulta. Maybelline Fit Me blush in medium pink or 204. And I'm using my MAC, what is this? It's worn off, I don't know, but it's a tapered brush, if you can see that. So this brush is okay for blush. It's not been my favorite, gonna be honest. I think I might switch. So just a little wash of blush. I'm not a huge blush fan, but you know, some days it works. So I put on this MAC Swiss Chocolate. It's a matte shadow, and it's kind of like a reddish brown. It's really pretty. It's one I use all the time. And I'm at 217. Because I baked and did my concealer after everything, I didn't do my under eyes, so I'm just gonna put a little bit on my under eyes here. I like the MAC 217 because it's not too small and it's not too big, so it really just gets a great amount of product on my eye. Okay, I'm gonna throw on some mascara. I've got my CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume, I don't know. I've got a couple different mascaras. This one works well. I do like this. So now, after everything, I'm just gonna set my face with a little setting spray. Today I am using the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. So I dry off that setting spray, and then I like to go in with my highlight. I feel like if you do it either right before or right after your setting spray, it just helps it to have a little bit more longevity, because highlighters sometimes fade throughout the day. And I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit, and this is Gleam. This has been like a favorite new product of mine. So I'm going to use the bottom two today, Starburst and Crushed Pearl. They both have like a little pinky undertone. Really pretty, not overwhelming. But I just do top of my cheekbone, tip of my nose. I kind of bring it up on my nose because I don't like it just on the tip. I feel like I look like Rudolph. I'm just going to go cray today. We're just going to do my forehead. We're going to do it all over because that's what I feel like today. So, top of my Cupid's bow. And I feel like the Cupid's bow area is really where it wears off most quickly, especially if you're reapplying lipstick. So, and then cheekbone. But just highlighting your cheekbones is just, oh, it just helps your face just pop. It's amazing. Okay, and the brush I'm using to apply this is an Anastasia brush as well. It's an A23, and this changed my life. If you're gonna highlight, especially with the Anastasia products, get her brush. It is incredible for highlighting. Absolutely love it. I was using MAC brush before, but it was just not working out. So that is everything today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any other products that you've baked with or that have helped you, let me know, because I'm always looking for products that don't crease under my eye, and I just love baking. It's a new technique that I picked up that has really changed my makeup game. It's helped me to feel a little bit more confident because I don't feel like my makeup's running throughout the day. If you have any more questions, leave a comment below. I'd be happy to answer them. And give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!